And welcome back to the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline. It's the radio guy, Mike Prince, and we are fortunate to have on the line with us defensive coordinator from the Alcorn State Braves, none other than Coach Cedric Thornton. How you doing today, Coach?
Oh man, I'm blessed and you're praying. How about yourself, Mike?
Well, look, I dare not complain, man. Let me first say congratulations. You and your bride have just tied the knot, and it's got to be a unique thing having you and your wife both coaching in the conference and at different institutions, man. How you guys seem to make that work?
It's strange. It's strange. It's fun. During football season, she comes to the games and everybody, that's Alcorn related know who she is and know where she works, and she comes to the games with her shirts on and saying who she's there for, and with her Alcorn stuff on, and during basketball season everybody know who I am, and I go to the games and I sit over there and in support of her, and we make it work, man. It's both of us doing something that we absolutely love doing and enjoy doing, and we able to support each other doing this. It's a little tough, at times because we are at different schools in different cities, so we got to try to make the best of that because like I said, we supporting each other and whatever endeavor
Okay,
we want to make with the business.
I do understand that. Now, look, do you guys get hard time from some of your constituents about you rooting for the opposite team, especially when you guys play each other?
No, it's crazy. When I know, especially when she plays us, Alcorn, all of my people, my assistant coaches, they'll sit there and watch me during the game to see my reactions. Because I always sit directly across from her. Um, if I can, COVID, they start cutting some stuff down where people can sit, but I always sit directly across from her um, at games. So, at times she, can get my eye contact, and everybody, whenever she play Alcorn, everybody always, especially my coaches, they always putting their eyes on me, telling me they want to see, my reactions, who won't pull her for and all that stuff. We haven't played UAPB um, since she's been there. So that hasn't been an action yet. We do play them this fall. So she's already been getting some grief from the people over there, but so we play them this fall. But we'll see how it happens.
We're on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline with defensive coordinator for the Alcorn State Braves, Cedric Thornton. Now, you made mention about playing Pine Bluff, and it's been a long time. Well, all that is going to change. You guys are transitioning over to the west after the long, successful run over on the east side, and it's already been, as they say, bulletin board material that you're coming to reclaim, which is rightfully yours, and that's another SWAC championship. With the time that you guys have had off, how do you see this in the pros or the cons? Do you see this as an advantage or a disadvantage with the time that you guys have had off not participating in spring?
My man, honestly, asking me, I see it as a disadvantage for us. And I see it as a disadvantage because, people, coming off to the spring, and, when we had to opt out this spring, there was a lot of flack from, schools in the conference about us not playing, and, if we not playing, we shouldn't be able to do this. We getting an advantage, and our guys gonna be fresh, this, that, and the third. Well, if you look at the calendar of football, and for us to play in the spring, it for everybody, it put everybody in a situation of, you know, could these young men, could their bodies physically handle the rigors of really a year-round calendar of football? Um, so that was something everybody was dealing with. The disadvantage for us come in those teams that played one game, 2 games, 3 games, 4 games, the championship game, however many games they played, they had an opportunity to literally evaluate their team. They had an opportunity because the year did not count for no one in regards to eligibility. So they had young people on the team. They had new people on the team that they had an opportunity to go out and get live bullets evaluating. I had an opportunity at spring practice. And at spring practice, we only rep against us. Everybody know that plays football. The energy, the tempo is not game tempo. So you're not going to play at a speed, at a rate, and do things at practice that you're going to do in games. I'm talking physically. And, my head coach is offensive guy. And we don't do nothing live at practice at Alcorn. We might have one semi-live practice, a camp, a spring, yet it's still a quick whistle, don't want nobody to the ground because he's an offensive guy, and rightfully so. Well, now I had a lot of guys on my defense that I really needed to evaluate. It's hard to evaluate a defensive guy when there's no live tackling because that's the toughest thing for us to do is tackle. These offenses getting so great now, and they're getting these guys in space, and if you don't get those live reps, man, that's tough. Well, I didn't have an opportunity to get to see that this spring. Everybody that played games, they had an opportunity to see that this spring because officials weren't blowing quick whistles. People played, they went live to the ground. So now coaches can get, real evaluation of their young guys to see who's ready, and they did not lose a year of eligibility. So that was great for them, even with the new guys they brought to the roster. So now this transfer portal thing, now coaches that's coming in or coaches that's been there, they got these new guys, they got these young guys, and they can give a true evaluation and know, well, I got this transfer portal, this kid ain't going to be able to do it, this, that, and the third. They go to these players and say, well, let's try to find you somewhere else to go. So I think it was a disadvantage for us not to play at least one game so we can get that true live evaluation. I'm sorry I went too so long on that true live evaluation on guys.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. And, you need to explain in detail because, like you said, there are two sides to every story. There's the way that people see it, and there's the way that it actually is. And that's not that one side is right or wrong. It's just the way that things pan themselves out. So, no, that's an excellent explanation. Now, you made mention of how Coach McNair does not allow, live ammunition to be fired, of course, during practice because of lack of depth and everything else, and you want to be as conscientious of keeping your guys as fresh as possible. When you look at the way things are, not just in the Southwestern Athletic Conference, but in the world of football as we know it, everybody's offensively oriented, and it's score, score, score. And, of course, they say, that offense brings ticket sales up, but it's the defense that wins championships. And when you look at the opportunities that present themselves, do you have on occasion a time to feel slightly slighted that it seems like the offensive guys are getting the opportunities to become head coaches versus defensive guys?
Mike, I try not to feel slighted until then it's mentioned to me. I try not to feel slighted, and then someone's asked me, man, why are you not? Why haven't somebody given you an opportunity to be a head football coach? And the attitude is what it is, and that's what a lot of people say. Offense sell tickets, defense win championships, but yet all of the non-football people, all they know and look at is the young, exciting people on offense. So I feel I do kind of feel slighted about it. Like then I look at it and say, I guess maybe it's not my time. I think my product speaks for itself. My resume speaks for itself. They say numbers don't lie. We check the numbers, and my history as a defensive coordinator. And I think I'm a good guy. I'm a people person. I talk to people, and I recruit fairly well and all that good stuff. And, you know, the opportunity for defensive guys for me just hadn't been there. If you look at our conference, I'm going to use Prairie View, for instance. Alcorn played for the state SWAC championship. Willie Simmons, the offensive coordinator, offense rolling. They hot. Willie Young, hot offensive guy. Boom, Alcorn win the SWAC championship. Prairie View need a head coach. They come get Willie Simmons, okay? Willie Simmons decided to go take a job at Florida A&M. Grambling, hot, offense rolling, dynamic quarterback, new lead offensive coordinator, shoot. Let's go get the offensive coordinator from Grambling. Boom. He go gets a job. Well, Alcorn been playing for the championship the last 6 years in the fall, and, you know, last couple of years, the defensive coordinator, they've been ranked, you know, high in the conference, high in the nation defensively. They win the championship. Ain't nobody called me and say, man, what's your name? You know, nothing. So, and I understand what it is. And a lot of people, you know, look down on defensive guys. But, Mike, if you look at the National Football League, you know, they say the best coach in the National Football League is the dude named Bill Belichick. That's what they say now. Bill Belichick is a defensive guy. You know, they look at, you know, college football and they say the GOAT. That's what they say. The GOAT of college football is a dude named Nick Saban. Nick Saban is a defensive guy. So, you know, defensive guys have an idea of running ball clubs. They can get it done. I mean, but, you know, it's just trying to get past, you know, what the people who make those decisions that are not football people see and they want to do.
We're talking again with Coach Cedric Thornton, defensive coordinator of the Alcorn State Braves on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline. And, Coach, I'm feeling you 100%. I'm a defensive guy as well. And as I said, we have to keep grinding and wait for your change to come. But with that, you got a pretty good coaching staff that you're associated with right now under the leadership of Coach McNair. You're not a novice to the SWAC. You had time at Texas Southern as well as your alma mater, Alabama State. Now, with those coaches that you've had the opportunity to sit up under, what is it that you've learned from each one of them that has aided to making you the better coach that you've become today?
Oh, man, great lessons from all three of them. I'm going to start at the top. My first college job at Alabama State, my alma mater, under Reggie Barlow. Reggie Barlow was my college teammate. We same recruiting class at Alabama State. Actually went to the Jacksonville Jaguars the same year. He drafted, I'm undrafted free agent. So I've been knowing, you know, Reggie over 30 years. A good friend of mine. So when Reggie first got the job, I was a high school ball coach in Florida, in Jacksonville, Florida, Raines High School. Love my job. And I still, to this day, consider myself a high school ball coach. That's why I approach dealing with the young men and teaching. That's where I approach. That's where I look at it. I teach them all, coach them all. Well, Barlow took that job while I was a high school ball coach, and for 2 years, you know, he'll call, we'll talk about this, that, and the third. And for 2 years, I, you know, basically turned him down from coming to work with him. I was in a good situation. I enjoyed what I was doing. Going into his third year there, you know, he give me a call and say, man, teammate to teammate, brother to brother, I need your help. That's the only reason I got into this college thing, because my teammate said he needed my help. All right, man, come work. Let's get you now. He said, man, I need your help, and bro, I'm there. Let's go. Let's do what we need to do. So with Barlow, you know, he was in a unique situation, Mike. You know, he's from Montgomery, Alabama. He's a local. He went to school there. Had great success there, playing. They ended up being drafted. So now, here he is from an assistant coach on the football team to all of a sudden, now he's the head football coach in his hometown. So he had a lot. Me watching him have to navigate through being the hometown guy, and as much as he was being pulled in so many different directions to try to maintain and run a Division I football program with all the extra pulls he was receiving. I'm talking about from family, from homeboys, from the local community. I mean, you're a local guy. You got to do this, And me seeing that and watching that, and he probably don't even know that's something I recognize and realize with him. I never talked to him about that, but I saw the pull he had and the extra stress he had on him and the things he had to do to try to deal with that. And, I pretty much pulled a lot of that from him. That was his first job. That was his first head job. That was his first head job. So, I saw a lot he pulled from that. I leave there and I go to Texas Southern University. Now I'm working for a guy named Dal Asbury. And Dal Asbury had a lot of success in his early years of coaching before we get to Texas Southern. He won championships at Shaw University. Before going to Shaw, he's offensive coordinator. He was offensive coordinator at Jackson State. He was offensive coordinator at North Carolina Central with Broadway. And, we one time had the number one offense in the country when he was at Jackson State. So he's an offensive guy. And Asbury is love him to death. I'm probably the only one to say this, is as arrogant as any offense, as you think any offensive player in the world would be. You cannot tell him nothing about what he is not able or capable of doing on the offensive side of the ball. He is, and we go at it all the time about it because he is that dude. Well, at Texas Southern, we got there in a situation to where the school had a lot of issues with the NCAA. Okay, so it was so bad that the NCAA asked the question, why should we allow you to remain a member of the NCAA? So we had to watch him have to navigate through that. We had to try to field a team and recruit a program, recruit a team, recruit young men under those stipulations with the NCAA. Mike, the NCAA forced us to send a letter out to athletes before they came on our campus on visits to explain to them the situation they were coming into. When I first read that letter, I told Coach there's absolutely no way we can send this letter to nobody. We have to physically put this in their hand so we can sit down with them and explain to them everything on this letter. Because if you mailed that letter to my house and I read that letter, there's absolutely no way I'm going to accept another phone call from Texas Southern University. It was that bad. So to watch how we had to try to navigate and pull things together through those tough times and try to run a clean program and get a program back on a good foundation, on steady footing. That was interesting there. Then I get to this dude, man, I'm with now, Fred Air McNair, the original Air. I played against his late great younger brother, Steve Air too. And man, Fred is as humble as they come. I've never been around a man that is this laid back, this humble in my life. I mean, he's an offensive guy. His name is synonymous with Alcorn State University, the McNair name, and he's a SWAC Hall of Famer. He's a Mississippi Hall of Famer. Yet, if you sit down and talk with this guy, if you're in his presence, you'll never know it. He is as laid back. He is as humble. He is a regular dude. And with Mac, he is like a CEO of his program. He hires what he believes is good people, good men, and he allows them to do their job. And that for one, I appreciate it. because he allows me to do my job. So I appreciate that. And that part is a little different from the arrogance of my dude Asbury. Asbury, he wants his hands in on everything. Everything. Tell you a quick story about Asbury. I end up being his special team coordinator one year. So we're about to play Southern, and I'm game playing this thing down. I'm right. We playing against the great Willie Quinn. That's gonna have Willie Quinn. If you kick it to him, it's probably gonna be 6. So don't do it. Kick off, punt, don't do it. Please don't. He was dangerous. So we got this great plan. And worked on it all week. Kicker good, kick out team good. Everybody, we solid, we straight. He ain't gonna hurt us. Man, we get to that opening kickoff of that game, and I see him down there talking to my kicker. This time I'm in the press box. I see him down there talking to the kicker. So I'm like, man, what is he doing? So I see him walk and stand in a spot that I know the kicker don't supposed to be kicking his ball to. So I tell the defense, get Asbury on the set. Tell him to switch. I need to ask him what he's doing. Coach, I got it, Coach. We're going to kick it right here, Coach. Look like, I'm like, no, Coach, that ain't the plan. No, Coach. He said, Coach, we got it. Mike, he kicked his ball in that spot. Willie Quinn gets this ball in his hand, and he is still running to this day. Asbury immediately clicked over and said, Coach, you got it. So the difference with him and, would want his hands on everything, and Mac let you do your job. He flat out let you do your job, man, and that's really a major difference with them guys. And now, when I pretty much pull from all of them.
When you talk about the pressure that Barlow was under, being the good son coming home, do you sense that with McNair at Alcorn? Because, like you say, he's a Mississippi legend. He is Alcorn bred, raised, and fed. How do you see that he handles that than the circumstances that Barlow was under?
Probably the difference is who he's been his entire life. Mac, when I say Mac is laid back, and his circle is very close. And Mac doesn't he's a good country boy. All right, so he has never put himself in a spotlight of needing to be around a lot of people. Okay, so Alcorn, we stuck back here in the woods, man, and you got to be trying to go to Alcorn to get here. You ain't gonna accidentally ride by us, so you got to be attempting to get here, and so he don't get that from a lot of people out here, because apparently a lot of people understand who he is. He's going to do what he's going to do for his coaches and for his players. It ain't ever about him. He fight for his coaches. He fight for his players to get things done for them. And if it's not about his coaches or his players, he really don't deal with it. Mike, he ain't gonna do a whole bunch of speaking engagements. He ain't gonna go to a whole bunch of handshaking functions. People ask him to do it. Okay, yeah, he'll do what he needs to do. But just to say I'm going to go and be there, no, he's not gonna do that. And these people here in this state, that's how the people are. You know what I'm saying? We're not, we're not Mississippians. We're not those people that throw ourselves on people. And it's just perfect for him, man.
Wow, that is amazing. I've had the luxuries of being able to talk to him a few times at the media days, and just as humbled as you mentioned and laid back. One thing that stood out to me, this dude has the largest set of hands I'd ever seen. I see he could knock a bull out with one punch, man.
That's true. He got some mittens on. He got a baseball mitt on attached to his body forever. That's true.
Yes, sir.
I always mess with him. He say it'd be hard for him to fine shoes. He wears size 15, so he say anytime he see a 15, he just buy it. I said, yeah, well, you got some size 15 hands too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's my pop used to say that he has what we call good understanding, right? When you're wearing size 15, right, you'll never have a bad understanding. We're talking with Cedric Thornton, associate coach, defensive coordinator for the Alcorn State Braves, making the transition, I guess it's official, on July 1st to be a part of the western side of things now. Holding it down, it seemed like forever and a day on the eastern side. I know the mission is the same, but it's going to be a little bit, as we say, murky water on the western side of things, dealing with the Grambling, the Southerns, the striking Pine Bluff Golden Lions, and the ever so elusive Panthers. What is it like when you guys coming over to the west? And we know with the addition of Bethune-Cookman and FAM, that's been a big talk. But I think an even more intriguing thing is an opportunity for you all to do something that we know that could probably never be done again, and that's win a Western and an Eastern Division title. So you're in a unique situation.
Very unique. But one, Mike, we pretty much expect it to happen. The moment we got the word that Cookman and FAM was coming over, we all knew here that we were the team that was going to move to the West because logistically it made sense. We're closer to every Western Division opponent than anybody else on the East. So logistically it made sense that we go to the West. Now, did it really matter as much for us? No, because since I've been here, since 16, we've played everyone in the West. We play Grambling, Southern, Prairie View every year. The only team in the East that has played what has been the top three teams in the West every year. This spring, Pine Bluff jumped up there, bam, they end up winning the West this spring. But prior to this spring, it's been Southern, Grambling, Prairie View, and we played all three of them every year. So now with us moving over there, with us, man, we play them anyway. We play them anyway. The only team we haven't played every year that we've been here is Pine Bluff and Texas Southern. We played them 15, 16, I think. I don't think we played neither one of them since 16. But everybody else, man, we play every year. Play every year anyway. So now we get to add Texas Southern every year. We get to add Pine Bluff every year. So it's gonna be fun, man. Like you say, we've been fortunate enough to the last 6 years to be the beast in the East, and now like you say, the mission don't change. It just changed the verbiage a little bit. Now we're gonna try to see if we can be the best in the West.
Now, Coach, when you talk about the uniqueness of Alcorn, it's in Lawton, Mississippi. As you say, it's an isolated place. What's the selling point to keep the plethora of talent that you have to keep your program on a consistent level to come to Alcorn? What is it? What is that selling piece?
A lot of people, man, in every university you attend, everywhere you go, a lot of people always say we're family. I've yet to speak to a coach or listen to someone talk about their program and they don't say that we're family. I can stand 10 toes down and say that there's nowhere in America that builds that as their foundation than Alcorn State University. I'm originally from Jackson, Mississippi, born and raised all my life. I never came on this campus until I was playing against this school when I was at Alabama State. And I'm from Jackson. Never came here. I'm not finna go down in the woods. Why am I going there? I don't want to go. I'm not going down there. That was my thought growing up. When Matt called me, when I came here to interview, And I rode around, Coach McNair rode me around this campus. And first time I ever been around this campus. And I talked to people. I bumped into people. I'm asking people in the cab. He take me by the cab. I'm walked up to people working in the cab. Tell me, you from here? Yeah, yeah. Why you coming to school? I'm asking people that, just random people. Asking people, man, he took me out to eat, and I'd see 3 old ladies in this restaurant. They looked like they were friends, so I just started talking to them. And they from Detroit, Chicago, one of them from Delta, Mississippi, and they went to school out here together. And I just started talking to them. Why did y'all, you from Detroit, why did you come to Alcorn? And every last one of them, man, I'm talking about, it was crazy. Every last one of them got to telling me how when they first walked on this campus, how it felt like home, how everybody treated them like a family. So now, when, I've heard that so much in my time, but here truly, man, these folk around here love this school. I'm talking about the organized coach, they serious about this university. So in our recruiting spiel, and I tell people this all the time. I talk to guys. I sign guys from California, from Phoenix, from Florida, from them areas I dabble in recruiting. I tell them from Texas. I tell them all the time, hey man, if you're a city kid and you looking for tall buildings, traffic lights, ain't no sense us wasting our time. 'Cause that ain't what we got. We have a great environment for learning. It's conducive to learning because you got woods that you can hunt in, and you got fishing ponds. But we got school buildings and we got football. The rest of it is what you're gonna make of it. But if you need traffic light and tall building, you're a city kid. That's not us. So with us, man, we literally lean on each other. You talking about family, and families lean on each other. Families take care, support each other. Out here, you have to lean on each other. You have to support each other because there's nothing else here. I mean, you literally got to look for trouble to get into trouble. You got to go hunting that. So, we sell family, man. We sell relationships. I sell me, honestly. And a lot of kids these days, they like stuff. And at Alcorn State University, we don't have a lot of stuff, but we have good people. It starts with my head football coach. Great dude, man. Great dude. And I think I'm good people. So, we sell the people. I sell myself. In this transfer portal world, and everybody jumping in this transfer portal, and you got these guys coming from these big schools and this, that, and the third. Well, I just talked to a young man the other day who's leaving FBS school, and I'm talking to him and speaking with his parents, and they want him to open his recruitment to look for something bigger. And I just said to him, I said, well, that's cool. I mean, go wherever you're comfortable. However, you're leaving where you're leaving from not because of the stuff that place had. You're leaving where you're leaving from because you felt like you weren't treated right. That's the only reason you're having a conversation with me. Because if you were treated right, you would still be there. If you felt like you was treated right, you probably were treated right, but you felt like you weren't. So if you felt like you were treated right, you'll still be there. So you having a conversation with me because and got word that that's how I am. That's how we are. From the top to the bottom, we're gonna treat you right. We're gonna treat you right. We're gonna give you the best that we have to give. If we don't have it, man, I ain't gonna sit here and tell you, dreams that we gonna get. I ain't gonna do it. That ain't me. It never been me. Man, dude, this is what we got. This is who we are. Let's rock. And yeah, I think the honesty, the sincerity, we show it. We don't try to hide nothing. We let people see who we are. And that's how we've been able to be successful enough to get some good young men that fit us. It may not, be the 4, 5, 12 star guy. Everybody else, posting that they got. But we get the young men that fit us, and it's been working for us.
Once again, we're talking with Cedric Thornton, defensive coordinator for the Alcorn State Braves on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline. The transition is already in motion. Alcorn, part of the Western Division of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. The season 2.0 for 2021 will be starting up real soon, and can't wait to see how things will unfold. Coach, it has been a joy and a pleasure to have you on the line with us, and we have a custom here at the open mic that we allow our guests to have some final thoughts and comments, and sir, the floor is now yours.
Hey, I want to say thank you, man. I just want to literally, pull my heart out and say thank you, Mike, man. What you're doing to help spread our word, the conference, HBCUs, just people, man, to give people an opportunity to spread the word, man, express who they are, because, no one will give us an opportunity to grow until they know who we are. They know what we have to offer, and a lot of people out there really need to know it, and for you to do this and give me an opportunity to spread the word of Alcorn State University, HBCUs, and myself. Man, I thank you. I thank you. I can't say enough. And keep doing what you're doing, man. God bless, and much success to you in the future.
Man, thank you very much. It is a joy and a pleasure to be able to do what we do, because part of what got us started in this thing many moons ago is that we have to be able to tell our story from our perspective, not someone else's perspective. And we're just part of a moving target that is growing ever so more each and every day. He is Cedric Thornton, defensive coordinator of the Alcorn State Braves. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Thank you guys so much for joining us on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline. And until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.
The Open Mic Broadcast Network would like to take this time to recognize its sponsors and underwriters: Attorney Lee Van Richardson, Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union, Prairie View Athletic Club, Temple of Refuge Ministries, Reflections Paint and Body Shop, Helping Hands Lawn Service, Diva Skin Conditioner, Purple Drip Daiquiri and Grill. For more information on how you can become an underwriter or a sponsor here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, our number to call is 832-213-8824. Serving the community through faith and athletics. The Open Mic Broadcast Network, Prairie View, Texas.